someone had this tweet, and you probably know who I'm referring to. I forgot the guy's name. And he goes like, 2020, DeSantis is the greatest governor in America. 2021, 2022, 2023, like DeSantis is terrible. Like it flipped on a dime.
Well, because he got, remember what DeSantis took measurements against. I mean, he took measures against the LGBTQ plus community in Florida and Disney. And they didn't like that. And then remember, just like 2 weeks ago, Trump had the big pro-LGBTQ party at Mar-a-Lago.
DeSantis is attacking from the right.
But I'm surprised. What I meant is I'm surprised that how the Republicans all flipped overnight to hating DeSantis. It was so weird.
And I'm not surprised for two reasons. The first attack against DeSantis was disloyalty. That Trump helped
which
him,
makes sense.
And then DeSantis decides he's going to go to a bunch of big neocon donors, established Republican donors, to run against Trump. It's like, kicking Trump in the butt.
Yeah.
But then...
And he did it because he wanted to go even more right, getting rid of gay stuff, which a lot of parents think was the right thing to do. But then, he brings in Soros as a backer. So it's like,
I don't think that's true.
That's not, he didn't bring in Soros as a backer.
He takes Soros money.
I don't think he does.
No, that's that's complete not
I
true.
read that in 2 or 3 sources.
You just said 20 minutes ago that you don't believe all that stuff. That's not true.
Well, I read it in 2 or 3 sources.
Yeah, it's not true. It's complete, like...
Okay, so that might not be true.
No, and they lied, claiming that Soros endorsed DeSantis, which is not true either. They've been trying to... Look...
I don't trust anything that, I want to say this correctly, but anything that has to do with children's school books and being pro child pornography in the schools, I'm not for that, okay? And I'm not for anything that George Soros is for.
Yes, amen. We're both saying this is Jewish people, by the way.
Yes. I'll tell you what this may be. Here's what I thought when the DeSantis supporters started zealously insulting me. Not
did
all
they really?
Oh, it's relentless. Mm-hmm. But it's not like I get attacked by everybody on Twitter, right? But they act very much like Antifa style leftists on Twitter.
Yes, they do.
Tweet in the very same way. Mm-hmm. And so at first I thought these people are trying to sink DeSantis by false flagging him. Pretend to be a DeSantis supporter. Mm-hmm. Like you see a lot of these accounts that pretend to be Democrats and say stupid things. People fall for it. And then it was DeSantis' own campaign staff that started insulting me.
Did they really? Like who?
They're communications people, right?
Okay, I know them. Okay.
They're miserable at their jobs, and so without naming, I don't want to get people dragged and then get them mobbed or whatever. Yeah. But there's a handful of high-profile conservative pundits who were pro DeSantis all last year, and now are outspoken against him. Because these staffers, supporters, and surrogates on Twitter are the most vile people. Not all of them, not every single one. Of course, there are a lot of good people. I have friends who are
very fine people.
Very fine people. Some I think are very fine people. But even when I've defended DeSantis, I get attacked for it. And then I get these same people who have insulted me demanding that I cover their stories in defense of DeSantis, tweeting at me, and I'm just like, you people are despicable. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I'm not having it. You know that video, that LGBT video that was retweeted by the DeSantis War Room? That was made by the DeSantis campaign. They passed it off to a third party to make it seem like they didn't make it, but they did.
That's why I think it's COINTELPRO, the whole thing.
DeSantis' campaign?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's playing the heel.
Something is not adding up, because the biggest criticism of Trump from Trump supporters is he didn't deliver the goods. And in his defense, he lost the House, he only had like 50 senators to begin with and whatever. And the argument is, well, DeSantis did in Florida. The fact that he's like overnight become like a joke, and like Jeb Bush, like I've never seen any politician's fortunes flip so quickly in my lifetime.
I was just going to say Howard Dean.
But Howard Dean had a raw deal, right? And
because Disney...
We could point to something specific
and I can point to something specific with Ron DeSantis.
What?
I'm leading the great American comeback. That was his campaign announcement. That moment was like a bang. And all of a sudden people were like, wow.